Hello and welcome back to Mr. Anderson's Algebra 1 Lessons. Today we're going to talk about how you would reduce advanced algebraic expressions. And so if you watched my previous video, I talked about just reducing the basic expressions, with one variable and really simple exponents. And today I got a couple examples for you to check out, and the first one I want to check out with you is this kind of ugly guy. And if you remember from the previous video, the big thing we're taking a look for is the GCF. We're really trying to find the GCF between these two expressions so that I can factor that out and reduce the expression you see here, because this is kind of ugly. So there's some things I want to take a look at, and got my calculator on the side just in case. So I want to find the GCF, and I'm going to start with what I do know. And I do know that I'm going to start with the variables here, because those are pretty easy to pick out. I know that they have an x in common, so I can take that, and I know they have a y in common. They do not have a z, so I have to leave the z up in there. But now I need to know how many x's I can take, and in this case I can take 2. So 2 x's come with me, all right? And then I have only 1 y that I can bring with me. Now it comes down to the numbers here. So I got 32 and I got 14. The obvious thing here is that to think the common factor is 2, which is correct. But what if there was a bigger number that we could go into? How would we know that? Well, you could just find the GCF, and I know that if you try to divide anything bigger than 2 into 14, just by finding the factors of 14, it's only got 1 and 14, 2 and 7. And so I know that 7 doesn't go into 32. I know 14 doesn't go into 32. And so the biggest factor they share together, unfortunately, is 2. So I'm going to bring the 2 out, okay? And that's going to make the bottom easy. 2 times what equals 14? Well, that's just 7. And I need to have 5 x's, or x to the 5th power, so I need to have an x cubed on the bottom. And I do not need to bring a y with me here because I already have it there. I've already used it, okay? So I do not need to multiply anything else. If I put another y here, that would be like me saying y times y, and that would have ended up being y cubed, and we don't want that. We want an equivalent fraction, okay? So then we have the top over here, 2 times what equals 32, and that is 16. And then we don't have any x's because we already have x squared. We do have a y. We need y to the 3rd, and then we have a z right there. We need to have this little tiny z. So that would help me get my answer, and this actually right here is the final answer, reduced form, 16y cubed z over 7x cubed. So that's the reduced form right there of this guy, and that's what I've been looking for. So now we're going to go to the next example here. Blank page. We got this guy. And this may look ugly, but if we realize the key thing here is to find the GCF. Okay? So I'm going to look for what do all 3 of these numbers have in common. And you would think it would be 4, but 4 does not go into 6. 4 does go into 12, okay? You'd think it'd be like 3, but 3 doesn't go into 4 either. So really the only one that we have is 2. 2 goes into 4, it goes into 12, it goes into 6. So I'm factoring out the 2, and then I'm looking for what else they have in common. In this case, they're going to have some x's here. So the most x's I can take out is a squared, so x squared, and then y squared. So there you go. I'm going to put the rest down here because it's going to be a big expression. So now I need to figure out 2x squared y squared times what equals 6x to the 4th y squared. Well, I know 3 times 2 is 6. And if I have another x squared times x squared, that gives me x to the 4th. And I've already used the y squared. So that's kind of the one on the bottom. Now the top, I need to multiply 2x squared y squared by 2x, because if I do any more y's, it's not going to work. And so that's my first expression. I put a plus for the next. And then I know that 2 times 6 would give me 12. So there's a 6. And I already have the x squared here, so I can't do an x, but I need a y, one more y. And there you go, that's my expression. I'm going to rewrite it down here. 2x plus 6y over 3x squared. And that's it. So thanks for watching. That's the reduced form, and I really appreciate you checking out my videos. If you have any comments or likes or anything, please let me know. Hit that like button, give me a comment, and as always, subscribe. Take it easy. This has been Mr. Anderson with Algebra 1.